Introductions made simple. When it comes to introducing yourself, follow these simple but tried and true methods to break the ice and encourage a positive, informative dialogue. Also, be aware that as our business communities become more and more diversified, every culture has its own way of greeting people in business situations for the first time. But hey, here are a few tips on making great introductions. Number 1, take the initiative to make the first gesture to welcome someone to the event. This puts the other person at ease and opens the door to kickstart any conversation off right. If you make the first move and start asking questions, you get to kick back, so to speak, and listen. Listening starts you off on the right track with building rapport while the other person gets to unload all about them. Another benefit to this tactic is you get to filter this person out. Do you want to learn more, work with them, or move on? If you did all the talking up front, you'd never know which move is best for you. So take the initiative and make the first move. Welcome them to the event and start asking them questions and getting them to talk. Number 2, state your name and immediately ask a few questions. Again, this gets the other person talking about themselves first. Hey, my name's Bart. What's yours? What do you do? How'd you hear about tonight's event? Practice making introductions until making introductions and asking questions flows naturally from you. Most people enjoy talking about themselves, so get them started down that road right away. Number 3. Now, only after hearing their story, consider, number 1, asking another question to show more interest, or B, reply with your own story about what you do by pointing out something in common. Or C, if you don't think this person can add any value to yourself or your business, and you don't think you can do the same for them, ask for a business card because you never know who you are going to meet that night as you move throughout the room. By connecting individuals who may benefit from knowing each other without an immediate benefit to you is probably the icing on the cake for making yourself memorable. While networking, if you can focus on how you can help other people achieve their goals, directly or indirectly, then you've mastered the art of being there for others. Be a source for resources. Remember that it only takes a minute to make a strategic introduction that could prove invaluable to you indirectly or more directly to others, either today, tomorrow, or a few days down the road. A few weeks maybe, a couple months. Hey, who knows? Take the time to make those connections and build on them. Always be of value to others and not just what you can take away from someone or the event. Number 4, be a connector. People automatically look to these people when they need help meeting new people. Volunteer to introduce people to people. You always will have the option to launch into a brief presentation about what you do, but keep it short and sweet. We're filtering, remember? You'll later find that you can size people up, wrap up the conversation if it's not going the way you want, sooner or later, and then politely end the conversation and move on to someone else in the room. Time is short, and you don't have much time when it comes to meeting people because there's a lot of them in the room that you want to meet. Save the long conversation of what you do for a phone conversation later, or an appointment at their place of business, or on the phone, or in person, or at lunch, getting coffee. Networking is not about making 20-minute presentations. It's about an opening statement, asking a few questions, deducing, I'd like to kind of get to know this person. They're interesting. Hey, let me get your card real quick. I'm going to go around the room, meet a few other people, but after I do that, if you aren't talking to anybody, let's get back together right here and continue our conversation. Sound good? Here's a sample little scenario. Hello, my name is... State your name. Tell me about yourself. Your business sounds interesting. Do you have some samples on you? Is it okay to call you this week? What day or time is best? Great. I look forward to talking to you some more. Let's move around the room and meet some more people, shall we? Number 5. Once you've both shared your contact information, again, quickly assess what your needs are regarding your new contact. Feel free to share any product literature, brochures, flyers, samples, etc., but save your contact details for viable prospects. Manage your time well, because there are so many people to meet at that event that could turn into new leads, resources, customers, etc. Since you already know all about you, why not spend your time learning about other people and who's there, what they do, and if you can help them by asking them what their needs are. There's a simple 80-20 rule that you can follow. Listen 80% of the time and speak 20% of the time. This rule could be advantageous in many conversations, both business or personal. Now, how do you keep the conversation going? Well, to keep any conversation moving along, here are a few suggested questions to ask to help make fact-finding fun while keeping the spotlight on the other person while you listen. So, what do you do? Where are you from? How did you get started doing what you're doing? How long have you been doing what you're doing? What did you do before that? What's your background, experience, or education to do what you do? How'd you hear about tonight's event? What made you decide to come to this event? What would you say you need the most help with in your business? Do you know anyone here tonight? Have you met anyone tonight that you could help or that impressed you? What do you think about the event? Do you have a website? How can I find more information about you? Now you can imagine how easy you can keep the conversation flowing in your direction by asking questions like the ones you just heard, right? Since time is valuable, we all want to answer these two key questions sooner than later. Number 1, can I help this person? Directly? Yes, you can help this person yourself with what you do, know, or offer. No, I can't help them directly. So indirectly, I will try to help them by maybe referring someone to them who can. Take their contact information and tell them you'll keep your ears and eyes open for someone who can help them as you walk around the room or leave to go back home or to the office. Number 2, this is the second question. Can this person help you? Yes? Great. Exchange contact information and tell them you'll contact them this week to schedule a follow-up call to continue your conversation. No, they can't help you directly. Well, not to worry. Say thank you and ask them to keep you in mind if they run across someone or a company who can. Next.